right, we have two people.
they can be in this at any moment. They just gotta up their mental game, let their talent speak.
Amazing placement. What a shot.
That was a Yahtzee overhead.
Aspect of mental toughness here that's just different.
I like the body language of all four players.
Oh, look at that shot! Great hands from Kiro.
Hello and welcome to the 2023-24 APTA Tour presented by Volley. We are live from the Country Club in Brookline, Massachusetts, bringing you the 2024 APTA Boston Nationals presented by Aon. Boston Nationals is the 16th and last stop on the 2023-24 tour, with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors Volley and Fusion, and local sponsors. Local presenting sponsor is Aon. Secondary court sponsor is Santo Tequila. Our local sponsors are Bully Boy Distillers, Columbus Overgroup, Biega and Kilgore Team for Compass, Hillary Maddox Team for Compass, Crestwood Advisors, DraftKings, FBE Insurance Services Inc., Harpoon, Needham Bank, Norfolk and Denham Insurance, Pure Insurance, UBS, WAC, and Winstanley Enterprises. I am Anthony Casamano here with Lauren Medell, bringing you the women's quarterfinal matchup between Lynn Burus and Macy Elliott, the #1 seeds, versus Georgina Alexandre and Elizaveta Lalic, currently the 7th seed. Scott Gannon is our umpire today, and welcome, Lauren. Can you introduce the players on the court for us?
Yeah, hi, Anthony. On the far side of the court, in the deuce court, hitting that roller forehand is Georgia Alexandre and her partner Lalic in the ad court. And on this side of the court, in the ad court, we have Lynn Burus and her partner in the deuce court, Macy Elliott. And both these teams have had a pretty easy road to the quarterfinals, and I'm looking forward to a much more competitive match right now. I'm excited for this match. Lalic and Alexandre haven't played much together, but they've both had some good success with other partners this year.
Right.
Lalic with Roxy and Ika, and Alexandre both with Gussios Sullivan and B. Lopez. And Elliott and Burus have been basically a freight train that nobody can stop, especially the second half of the season, Anthony.
Yeah, we were just talking about that before going on air, and I think I just had the draw handed to me, and Burus and Elliott haven't lost a game yet, it seems, through the tournament so far. And every time we bring up a potential gap or weakness with Macy Elliott and Lynn Burus, they fix it in a matter of minutes. Their court IQ is tremendous. They are willing to put the work in, and every match I watch, they're getting better and better. And this is the time. This is the time of the year they need to peak, right? So I think they're ready.
And on top of all of that, their skills are amazing, and they're both incredibly athletic. Right. They have every shot in the book, and I'm waiting to see if somebody can find a weakness, and until they do, they're not going to lose.
So this will be an interesting match. I know I commentated for the Lalic match before this one, and I will say the match that I saw, the net coverage was rock solid with Alexandre and Lalic. They are both tall. They hit great overheads. They have a great wingspan, and we half joked that we can only cover 2/3 of the court in paddle tennis, but I feel like they're covering 3/4 of the court with their the way they move at the net. So we'll see if that gives them a little bit more of a chance against these two.
Yeah, I mean, these are all four athletic players who can blitz and who can hit hard and who can do a lot of different things. So it should be fun to watch.
Just a little background on our players. Lynn Burus is from Cape Town, South Africa. She is the director of rackets at Roxitticus Golf Club. She was, of course, the 2023 national champ with Macy Elliott. I think they won in the finals against Anika and Nicolescu. She was number 60 in the world, ranked in juniors. Very interesting detail there. And Macy Elliott lives in Wilton, Connecticut, and she's from Evansville, Indiana. She played college tennis at SMU in Dallas, and is the director at Rolling Hills Country Club in Wilton, Connecticut. Georgie Alexandre, 2000, we said, I think you brought this up, Lauren. They haven't played together all that much, but they had a great match in Short Hills, losing a third set tiebreaker to Morgan and Sakura. And they played in the 2023 Nationals and lost in the 16s. Georgie Alexandre lost in the 16s with O'Sullivan to Delmonica and Gebbia. And Elizaveta Lalic was born in Ukraine, and she lives in Morristown right now.
Yeah, I mean, Lalic and Alexandre really only have that one tournament together this year, and they almost took out, the clearly third best team in the country this year in Morgan and Sakura. They couldn't have been any closer. It was the third set tiebreaker. So let's see if they learn from that match and what they can do here against the number one team.
Yeah. And I think, just as an aside as well, with Burus and Elliott were finished at the top, right, of the APTA Cup. Mm-hmm. And the two highest purse winners, followed by Zabori, Hanish, Sakura, and Morgan.
Everyone getting their strategy straight to start here.
Yes.
And, look, these guys all know each other, and it's important to come in having a game plan. There's very specific things that they're going to be trying to execute on the court.
And especially in the quarterfinals of the Nationals. Nerves are going to be a factor. The center court is going to be a factor, and getting the first couple of points settled and getting those butterflies out of the way is huge.
See, right off, they're going to play I, try to take that return away from Macy Elliott. Not so much there.
Not so much on the first one. Staggered formation. They stayed that way until we... We'll see if the sun coming out of that deuce corner is an issue. It looks like it's getting low and right out of that corner.
Yeah, Lalic has sunglasses on.
Yeah.
I've been impressed when I've watched Alexandre play and how well she moves around in the screens. And you saw that roller overhead from Elliott that can be very difficult for some players to handle. Alexandre has no trouble with it. She kind of glides around in there and is very comfortable.
Yeah, she took a good swing at that one as well. So, I will say Lalic was in their previous matches. Obviously, they've done really well, but she has been struggling with her serve. She faulted a number of times in the last match and has decided to stay back, and it looks like she's playing the same way.
She's got a big serve. We saw Lalic close there, and Elliott went right over her.
Yeah, and that's going to be an issue today if they need to get Macy Elliott lobbed so well. If Lalic is going to close on that net too aggressively, as the player on the left, there's a huge gap in the middle of the court. That's going to be really hard for Alexandre to cover that overhead with a backhand.
For Alexandre Lalic, but a well-played game by their opponents.
They'll take that game out of the box. That first game was rather quick, and I don't know, if I were Alexandre and Lalic here, I would be really careful playing these next couple of games. They need to keep the pace slow, and they need to let themselves work into this match. It could really, it could get away quickly if
they have to slow it down.
They do, and that's a great
that
first
works.
drive. Yeah, that works.
And that's the thing with these big serves on a pretty warm day like today. They're going to sit up in the screen, and you have to try to take advantage of that. Good luck there, and Burus is off the net.
I think it's the right sequence, right series. It looks like they're going to test Alexandre in that corner a little bit more. I think they're going to be very cautious about dumping the ball onto Lalic's side, because she can certainly hit it on both sides. Something you have to be really careful of this early in the match, when clearly I think Alexandre has the message that they're going to try to keep that ball straight ahead to her, and she's got to be careful not to try to do too much too early. She overhit that forehand just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she has a good forehand. She she had the shot there. She just overcooked it.
Yeah. That's probably a factor of the first game, and there's 2 faults.
All right, that'll help you.
Yes.
2 missed serves. Okay, 3 missed serves.
Wow.
That's not something you see a lot from Lynn Burus.
Do you think it's early match jitters or?
I mean, it could be, but can also, just sometimes that happens. I feel like you miss a few and then hopefully it doesn't snowball. I mean, I don't think it will snowball in this case.
I've certainly been there. I've been there. I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
And by the time her next service games comes around, I think she'll be a little bit more settled. And smart play. I think the game plan here clearly is work Alexandre in that deuce court, and if you can get it to the side screen on Lalic, go there and try not to drop something short on the deck. So they're hitting a little bit harder into that corner to make her, to keep her from leaning into the court for those drives. I think that's a good strategy to start.
Good call from Alexandre.
Yeah, great communication there. Way to step in. It's a much easier shot for Alexandre.
Got her.
Okay, what does that tell us?
Aon is proud to be a title sponsor of the APTA Nationals. Aon exists to shape decisions for the better. We provide our clients with advice and risk and human capital solutions that give them the clarity and confidence to make better decisions to protect and grow their business. Aon is in the business of better decisions.
Okay, so aside from the 3 faults from Lynn Burus, the points are going very quickly in the favor of Burus and Elliott. And there's another fault, so we have a total of 4 faults.
I say this every match. I commentate that Burus and Elliott play, but Elliott has changed her serve so drastically from the push serve she'd been hitting in years past. And now both of them have such strong serves that it really takes the return pretty much away from their opponent.
Yeah.
There's the serve.
Didn't Macy Elliott's have her first iteration was the bigger serve, and then she switched back to the push serve, and now she's back again? Or was she always?
I think she started with the push serve.
She started with the push serve.
Yeah.
That's probably the third or fourth swing that Lalic has missed there. I think she's just she's trying to make something happen, but it's still a little bit too early.
Yeah.
And she still needs to keep a little more patience back there.
And you're not going to win points. Rarely you're going to win points from one drive against this team. They volleyed too well. You're going to need a combination.
Exactly. She needs to, if she wants to be more offensive, it's got to be at a 60%, a 60% drive instead of trying to overhit that ball and see what happens on the volley. See if we can break down the volley.
Good lob. Woo. Could see that from our angle that it was going to go right in there.
Yeah, and that's the strategy. I'm actually a little surprised that that Burus and Elliott were confused on two of those overheads in a row there. If that's their plan to play into that deuce court, Burus has to stay back. She's got to cover that one in the middle. And if Macy Elliott has to come over too far, they're going to get into a little bit of trouble there. That's a big serve from Lalic. That's such a great shot to go right back at the person at the net. Alexandre.
Yeah, I mean, and Lalic is staying back for that reason, but Alexandre's a bit of a sitting duck up there when it's coming out of the screen so high.
And she's probably thinking there's all that open space over there. It's unlikely that they'll drive right at me, and so that's why I think that drive is so effective.
Yeah, and I mean, understandably, she also thinks she volleys well enough that she can handle it, but it's hard when it's coming down like that.
Just about every look they can to Alexandre over there. They pounded her in that corner. She was doing well. It's a lot of different
Eventually one is too tough, right?
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. There were 6 or 7 different types of overheads, right? We saw a roller. We saw almost a waterfall. They pulled her left. They pulled her right. They're really making her work over there. And at that pace, it is really just a matter of time before you miss one. Or put Lalic in a situation where she feels like she has to step in and take more control, which she tried to do right there, and that's a tough drive.
Volley would like to thank the APTA, tournament host clubs, players, and pros for an amazing 2023-24 season. With over 1.3 million balls thrown this year, Volley creates a community to connect pros and players while giving users personalized performance insights to track progress and improve their game. Download the Volley app now by searching Volley Racket in your app store. For more information, visit getvolley.com. Get started. All right, let's see how Burus responds to the last game where she served 3 faults. I don't think we'll see that again.
Lalic finished the previous game over hitting a drive, and she just did the same thing there again. And that's, she really has to be disciplined here, because Alexandre is going to see a lot of balls, which means that's a great serve. She's going to see a lot of balls, and we tend to then think we have to make things happen when we get a striking ball, and it's the easiest one to overhit. So Lalic has to be really careful about not getting too anxious on these balls.
Yeah, I mean, Lalic has to realize if it's not the right shot, even though she's not getting that many balls, she can't overhit. You can't make it, force it.
Exactly.
Yeah, good shot.
That's a pretty shot. Not only said, right, you talk about the first drive and the second drive, like you said, Lauren. The first drive is not to win the point, it's to get that second ball to drive.
Yeah.
She did that perfectly. I mean, I try to teach that a lot about the drive, and then assess that volley, and then make that second drive. And I cite Burus a lot when I talk about that, because she does it so well. She makes that first drive, and she doesn't overcommit until that ball bounces, and then pounces on that second ball.
Much better service game by Burus.
Yes. As we suspected.
Yeah, we weren't too worried about her. All right, I like this. Lalic and Alexandre regrouping.
Yes, I think tying their shoe, right? The slowing down the game, slowing down your opponents just for a second can help. Trying to put myself in Alexandre and Lalic's shoes right now to see what I would try to do to counteract what's happening here, and it's I don't have a plan yet. It's really tough to. And if you watch Elliott and Burus, the overheads they're hitting are in good spots. The offense that they're taking is smart. maybe with Lalic on the deuce side of the court, this is the second time she's found herself here. Maybe she'll get a better look at the backhand in the middle. I do know she likes that.
Good deep lobs. Okay, a couple missed forehands in this game, keeping Alexandre and Lalic in it.
Yeah, and I like the way I like that sequence. I like the net coverage better there, right? They were very settled in playing even though you're going to play Lynn Burus over there, and you know she's got a big forehand. The net coverage, keeping it straight ahead, allowed them just to stay where they were without having to shift, and it forced Lynn Burus to hit really good lobs. But there was no confusion on Alexandre and Lalic's side of the court, and it worked in their favor there. So.
All it needs to do is hit let cord winners.
Did that actually go over? I wasn't sure if it went over.
Yeah,
it did. And that's I do like Lalic's backhand from the deuce side of the court. So maybe they'll try to get a few more of those looks. And they popped off the center strap at the same time they got the let cord.
I thought it went over. Maybe it didn't.
Maybe it didn't. I thought it stayed on the same side of the net, but I couldn't tell for sure. I guess it did.
That was quick to come out with the new strap.
Oh, that's it. So that's a new strap. Everyone just waiting off the court. That's preparation.
I don't think I've ever seen this before in a match.
Me either. So this could work in the favor of Lalic and Alexandre, just to have a few minutes to maybe slow down the momentum that Burus and Elliott have.
Sure.
Really hard to see any gaps here in the play for an opportunity. And you know, we always talk about just extending the point, make it longer, make it longer. It's easy for us to say it from this side of the court, but. They were able to take advantage of what we talked a little bit about earlier with Burus closing a little bit too much on the net, creating a little confusion on that follow-up overhead, which forced her to hit it into Lalic's backhand side. Nice game. Great get there.
Great job controlling that ball. She was so far in and it was going so hard.
Burus somehow came up with that ball as well. That's
Yeah.
two great gets. I don't even think she saw that ball hit her paddle. She spun around and put her racket up.
Alexandre hit 3 really excellent overheads in a row and points neutral.
Nice bail. Way to get out of the way, Alexandre.
What a point.
All right. Longest
That's
point.
what they got to do. That's what they got to do, Anthony. They
That's all.
got to just...
That's all you have to do to win a point.
Yeah.
That was probably
Yeah.
the longest point of the match. And I really liked how Lalic and Alexandre were set up at the net, and what created the exchange where they lost the net is when they went over to Macy's side. Even though even though Alexandre had a good overhead, Macy was able to expose them with the lob, and it created 4 shots later that they had to give up the net. I really like the look of her. Even it's kind of the devil that you know and the devil that you don't when you're hitting to Lynn Burus over there. She's got a great forehand, but at least you know that drive's coming straight back at you if you keep the ball on her side of the court. When they switch it to Macy Elliott's side, they're getting into trouble.
Must have fell down. Good overheads from Lalic. I'm not giving Elliott and Burus anything to take advantage of.
Yeah. And I think this is going to be their most successful look here.
Yeah.
That's the point. So if they can't finish it this set, it's a really good sequence, a really good pattern for them to use going into the next set. It's not over yet, though.
Come on, guys.
But they're realizing the level of discipline that takes and the level of concentration.
Well, okay, and it paid off. Hanging in there.
They did. A little mental fatigue, perhaps. They hit a lot of balls that game. Elliott and Burus.
Yeah, those two really, really long points. Both of them, Lalic and Alexandre, won, and they may have found something there.
Yeah.
Clearly, they're better off playing that way than trying to win it on 1 or 2 shots.
Exactly.
You can see the crowds watching. Great day at paddle in Boston.
Yeah, I don't think we could ask for a nicer day. I think it's 53 degrees out there right now. As paddle players, we play in all weather, but sometimes we do complain about having the sun in our eyes. But other than that, perfect weather.
See if Macy Elliott can close out the set here.
With a new ball.
New ball.
That's right. 7 games, new ball. She'll take one more practice serve. That's the game they needed. That's the game that Alexandre and Lalic needed. Like I said, even if it's not to win this set, to know that if they stay disciplined and work that same strategy, that it's possible. Aggressive overheads. Macy Elliott decided to push the serve on that one. And baited Lalic into overhitting it just a bit.
Just a bit. Maybe she's sending a message.
It's good to keep that net person honest. But
After that last marathon game, here's 3 quick points to make it triple set point.
I was a little afraid of that. Right. So now it's a different look when Lalic and Alexandre are at the net. They seem to have a little better strategy, but in the backcourt, it's still a different game for them. They haven't quite figured this out yet. Okay, and that's the first set. Burus Elliott, 6-2 over Alexandre Lalic. We will be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel, presented by MyPaddle. Welcome back to the APTA Tour. We are live from the Country Club, bringing you the 2024 APTA Boston Nationals. We are in the quarterfinals between Burus and Elliott versus Alexandre and Lalic. Burus Elliott won the first set 6-2. Lauren, we saw some good set closing strategy from Alexandre and Lalic at the net. We'll see if they can carry that into the second set. What we have not seen is their ability to figure out how to play in the backcourt against the relentless overheads and good positioning of overheads from Burus and Elliott. They still need to figure that out, and we'll see how they start this first set. What are your thoughts on a strategy change at this point?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, in the second half of the set, towards the end of the set, they definitely figured out their positioning and their strategy at the net better, and they're just going to have to lob really well from the back. And they found some holes on their overheads where they're getting lobs between them.
Yes,
and that's going to be a good thing for them, because then they can get into the net. So if they can keep lobbing well and create more opportunities, and every once in a while get Lalic a good look, that could be a winning proposition for them. But it's not easy. There's Elliott and Burus make it hard. They do everything so well. So.
And they recognize in the moment, too, if they're at a deficit and they change their strategy. They're very dynamic in their ability to change on a dime. So it's even when you get into one rhythm, that doesn't mean it's going to stay that way either.
I like Lalic's overhead. She has, look, I jinxed her. But she is a good roller, and she has a good overhead that she keeps low through the court, and she can also hit a good spin overhead. She has good variety on them.
She really does. I agree with you. And I especially like the one, even though I like her playing. A couple loose errors that game. They really needed that game to be a little bit longer, especially since they're controlling the net better. To have a couple of unforced errors there is unfortunate. It's going to be hard to catch up playing from the backcourt from this next game. But to your point, Lauren, I absolutely agree. She's got some really good looks in her overhead. She has the big three. She has the roller. She has the slice, the slash, and she can go back from the ad court at the net back to the deuce player on that net with some spin. And then she has the push overhead, so she has it all.
Well, they may, if they're going to get a little help from Burus on their serve, they could get right back in it here.
That was just deep.
That's a heavy serve, hard to handle.
Heavy and a big kick, right? The top spin on that serve really shot from the service box much quicker there. So we're seeing
that's some bad luck with the net.
This is exactly what we saw the first time Lynn served in the first set. She's got two faults here. Let's see if she can come back.
Lalic and Alexandre look a little flat at the moment. They need to figure out how to get a little spark going here. Another good lob from Alexandre.
Ball was called out. Okay, 30-all.
Game point. So Lalic and Alexandre have switched sides.
Yeah.
And interesting. We've got that backhand in the middle now.
Right. I noticed it. I just noticed it as you were saying it. I said,
Yeah.
wait a second. And right, we were talking about that in the last set with the ability for, or at least for the option for Lalic to have her backhand in the middle right there for that shot. I think is smart.
Okay, 1-all. Oh, let's see how that proved to be may have been a very smart move. Long points. Lalic and Alexandre seem to be able to eventually draw an error from Burus and Elliott, so they got to keep playing long points.
And I was curious to see if they were going to switch sides of the net. So if you noticed, Lalic was the person on the right at the net for that last sequence, and they were very unsettled, and they ended up giving up the net on that point. I like it much better with Lalic on the left. Fault. Lalic switched back to the deuce court. So. Like you said, Lauren. So as these points get longer, creating some frustration, maybe a little.
I also think it's hard when you've won so many points quickly to then all of a sudden have to just stay in there.
Creates a little impatience, right? Yeah, it was easy to win the point. Now it's harder to win a point. Switching sides.
I'm here.
Yeah, that's the one they have to watch, that hard ball down the middle. Well, it's just going to make them pay.
Yeah, and the simple fact that they have to think about it helps,
Yeah.
right? Because it's going to force them to push the ball maybe just a little bit in a direction they weren't thinking. Right.
No, missed it. Okay, Lalic and Alexandre have their first lead.
Up 2-1.
Helmed by Sandy Hagar and Guy Cherry. Kanto agave forward additive free tequila is made for those who believe that life is best when it's lived out loud.
Santo Tequila. So far so good. I'm really happy to see that they made this change. We noticed it. We noticed that backhand down the middle is a good weapon. They figured out we'll say they've done better figuring out the net court coverage. I like to see Lalic on that left-hand side directing traffic into the ad court, and now with her backhand in the middle of the court and the baseline, they've really solidified their stance here. Let's see if they can carry it on for a few more games.
Yeah, I mean, and good for them. Not every team both players feel comfortable enough on playing both sides that they can just switch like that in the middle of the match. So that's great that they have that ability. It was there.
Right, that's exactly what they're looking for. We'll take that shot.
She had Elliott off the net and everything. It was the right time.
Great shot. That's a fantastic point. And if you notice that now, Lauren, this zone for the safe spot for Elliott and Burus has shrunk. They're only able to hit this ball in what it looks like a 3 to 4 foot lane to keep it safe, and that's making them think on every overhead where they're placing that ball. And I feel the pressure is the feeling that they're comfortable at the net has gone away, and they have to be much more precise in the placement of their overheads, and it's changed the makeup of the first couple of games here. Alexandre is lobbing beautifully down that line.
Yeah, I like her in the backhand side in this match because she's so consistent and so precise back there with her lobs that she's going to get Lalic balls to hit. by lobbing down the line so well.
Oh, what a great get. She has tremendous composure in that corner. She's not rushed.
Yeah, and she's making Burus and Elliott feel like, what do I have to hit here?
Oh, they just missed it. But the strategy is sound. There's enough, keeping enough movement up and back for Burus and Elliott at the net. They're making them close on the net when they need to.
It's a big point. Yeah, too much.
Exactly what you said before, Lauren.
Yeah.
If we're points, there's less room for error over there. Eventually, they're overhitting that ball. They're trying to be a little bit too creative with the overhead there. Great point. Big point here at Deuce.
Good return from Lalic. Yeah, Elliott's not sure now
Exactly.
whether to hit the big serve or the push serve.
Whereas they were completely comfortable in all aspects in the first set. Now it's going to be time for them to rethink their strategy again.
Just missed it.
Yeah, I still like the sequence, and they only want to give Lalic balls off this. They don't want her to hit anything off the deck. Which also means the ball's sitting up off the screen a little bit as well. It was the right shot to take. She just didn't execute it. But
it's only 2-1 Anthony, but you feel like this is such a big game.
Oh, it is a big game, for sure. It's huge. This is the game that will make them believe if they win it. But that's what I want to see. I want to see Lalic switch over this left person on the left. Because of that shot, she controls that shot a little bit better than Alexandre.
Butter.
Really big game. Smart playing. Macy Elliott serving at 1-3. What do you think, Lauren? It feels like the momentum has switched a little bit. I feel like Alexandre and Lalic are controlling the pace of play. They're absolutely controlling what's happening on the court right now. I love with Lalic on the left side controlling those overheads because Alexandre is very disciplined, staying at that net, looking to cut off that volley. And when Lalic has an opportunity, if that ball gets short, to hit it a little bit harder into the deuce court at Burus, and it's all making sense right now.
Yeah, in the first set, you know, it looked like Alexandre and Lalic didn't have any answers, and they've switched sides and they've gotten more patient, and now it looks like Burus and Elliott are pressing, and they don't have the answers.
Exactly.
Total change.
Alexandre she would have been there for that drop shot, no doubt about it. Just got a little bit lucky there, but her play in that corner has been fantastic. She's tracking that ball down with no problem. She's consistently lobbing down the line.
perfect shot by Burus.
They're surviving this game with a let cord winner and a nick so far.
Just a few sloppy errors from Burus and Elliott that we're not used to seeing.
And I think it's because they're having to think more than they wanted to, and I don't say that in a they're certainly capable of thinking, but they're trying to figure stuff out back there.
Due to their opponent's play, definitely.
Exactly. Good lob on the back of the baseline. All right, touche. Really good patience from Burus and Elliott in that game.
Yeah, good for them to keep it close here. In collaboration with the APTA, Fusion is at the forefront of personalized gear and apparel. Backed by a team of seasoned industry experts, we provide exclusive access to high-end products from top-tier retail brands, all poised for customization with your club logo, team name, or corporate branding. Our streamlined approach guarantees a hassle-free shopping experience, complemented by custom online storefronts and swift ordering. Visit www.gearbyfusion.com and let Fusion seamlessly weave your branding into elite merchandise.
So that game to get up 3-1 was clearly a huge game for them. It would have been great if they could have played a little bit longer, consolidate that next game to keep a little separation. But you know that's not going to happen from Burus and Elliott. They're going to dial it back in. They're going to figure it out as well. They extended the points in that game just enough to make an impact.
Yeah, important for Burus to have a good serving game here. She's had a little trouble with her serve this match.
Blitz.
Good blitz.
That's the spot. Nice play. Good get by Burus.
That was tremendous. I don't know how she kept that ball in her view there for
stepped the wrong way and was able to stay with it long enough to actually hit down on it.
That was very good body awareness and court awareness.
And brute athleticism.
Yes, that too. That we know she has in spades.
For sure. And those are the moments right there by Lalic that, you know, she's been so disciplined there, and at love 15 to make a little bit of a mental error trying to drive that ball instead of lobbing it. But it's also,
yeah, she knew it right away.
She knew it, yeah.
By Alexandre moving these lobs around. That one's a little short.
I'm very impressed with her ability to hit these spots on such a regular basis, to keep her composure. She's pushing herself into the corner a little bit more, and she's able to do that. Great point. She's able to do that because her lobs are so straight down the line. There's no opportunity for them to hit behind her. So she gets to park herself there and control that deck lob tremendously well. And there's 2 faults out of Burus this game to make the score 30-40.
Didn't quite get that one to the screen.
No, but and it's right, if we can see, you see how these points are, the few, I mentioned it earlier, just how few spots on the court that Macy and Lynn have to aim at to keep that ball from from hurting them. And it's hard off the screen to Lalic. And safe deep in the court to Alexandre, who hasn't blinked. She hasn't missed a ball over there. And 4 out of 5 of her lobs bring Lynn Burus back behind that service line. Every single time.
Yeah, and Lalic is doing an excellent job in the deuce court. You know, the threat of her drive, and she's handling the balls into the corner well, and there's nowhere to go.
You know, there are times in paddle when Lalic blinked. She blinked. After how many? Was that a 70-shot point or more, right? She blinked. It was still the right shot. I think she was just trying to be a little too precise with it. Oh, sure. So I think she goes right down the middle of the court with that one. You're better off. But right time, and we'll take that sequence of shots all day. That's what we're hoping for. Sometimes when you're at the net, when you're Burus and Elliott, at times, especially in the first set, I felt like they were probably saying, if we just keep hitting these overheads, at some point, Lalic and Alexandre are going to miss. And now I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like in the backcourt, they're saying if we just lob, right? If we lob enough and we keep to our strategy, eventually Burus and Elliott are going to miss. And it's in their head. It's in Elliott and Burus's head that we're not really in control of the net anymore. But they can still do things like that. So we had one kind of loose shot from that.
Yeah, a real opportunity there for Lalic and Alexandre to take a 4-2 lead, but great hold by Burus.
And that's what you're going to see from the top teams.
Big sigh of relief there from Burus and Elliott. Wide. Long. That can be a tricky volley when you stay back and then decide to come in. And
yeah, I think Alexandre should have stepped in and hit that one, and I think she hesitated.
got her.
I was just about to say, we really got this good. The Lalic's overheads. She's really hitting them
they're
so well.
really good.
Yeah, she's keeping them deep into that corner, and then at the right time, she just moves it slightly into the middle there where Macy can't really do anything with it.
Three all, 30 all.
I like the thought. I think she
Lob
should be.
blitz, good idea.
Lob blitz. I think she can be doing that probably a little bit more, but I think as it crossed her mind to do it, it forced her to hit that lob a little bit. She wanted it to be perfect, and I think that's the first lob she's missed in many, many games. And then a little mental letdown after that.
Yeah, and you know, it's like you said. I mean, the number one team is the number one team because they play those big points so well, and they've had ample opportunity to get way down in this set, and now they're ahead 4-3.
Right. Okay, big game for Alexandre and Lalic. They're going to have to show, I don't want to say nerves of steel. It's really just discipline of steel at this point because their game plan is solid. And they've just been a little bit more apt to make a mental mistake. Or an unforced error like that.
Mm-hmm. Another tremendous lob from Alexandre.
Job fighting that one off.
Another good get.
As well as Alexandre is playing that corner, I feel like at this point now she's going to need to hit a few more offensive shots like that. She needs to hit some probing drives. She needs to bring Burus back to the net a little bit more. Because now I feel like they're a little bit too comfortable at the net, and they now know what Alexandre is going to do a little bit too much.
Yeah, and she can do that.
She can. Yeah, she can.
She's
And she opens up her forehand here and looks for a drive. Open it up a little bit. That's a little too short. Because now I think you're putting a little bit too much pressure on Lalic to do that. Wasn't the right shot. Serve was deep. The shot. I like her stepping in and hitting that ball.
finally got her.
Finally got her. She didn't really. I'm not sure what she was thinking on that point because she usually recovers so well back to her spot that she got a little bit stuck in front of that baseline. I don't know if she was thinking offense. Great lob. That's the drive. Great dig.
I feel like just a minute ago, Alexandre and Lalic had points to go up 4-2.
Yes.
And now they're serving to stay in the match.
Well in. Great lob. That's a risky
Little
one
wild.
There. Yeah, she had a shot when she was in the first match. I watched her play when she was up 5-something. She's able to make that ball. Right now, I think it's a tougher ball to hit.
And now they're just playing fast. Lalic and Alexandre. Just too fast now. Got her. Good for Alexandre and Lalic. They're settling in a little bit again after losing what seemed like a bunch of points in a row.
clearly not in a rush to change sides here, so they're going to take their chances with a different look. Three really good overheads.
We're at match point.
Okay, that's 6-2, 6-3.
Felt the lock closer than that.
It did, and any parting thoughts? I think we were talking about just we felt some momentum change, and just not quite enough momentum to carry them through. But there were some really good moments there for them to take advantage of, and of course, you're not going to get freebies from Burus and Elliott.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Yeah. Look, all credit to Burus and Elliott. They handled some very difficult moments there in the second set, but in a season where they've had very little, especially the second half of the season, they've had very little competition. Alexandre and Lalic, played them even in the second set, and they should take a lot of good things away from this match.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they played well, and they definitely had some moments there to take advantage of that second set. And that's a wrap from the 2024 APTA Boston Nationals. If we do have another match coming up right after this, it will be the men's round of 16 with Regalado and Salazar versus Dennis and Friedrich. Join us back here in a few minutes. Thank you very much, Lauren, and we'll
Thanks,
talk
Anthony.
soon. So long.
Every day, big decisions are made without full information, overloaded by data, compounded by complexity. Better decisions are made in the light, with clarity and confidence. Aon is in the business of better decisions.
What I love most about the volley machine is I can come down here and work on my game when I can't find friends.
Volley and I have been dating for several months now, and things are getting pretty serious.
My favorite thing about the volley trainer is to be able to work on the target, contact window, and tool all in my vision.
My favorite shot with the volley trainer is the push volley.
I really love the video feature of the volley machine. It has really helped me improve.